You know that sinking feeling when you check your bank account at the end of the month and wonder where all your money went? You're working hard, maybe even working extra hours, but somehow you're still living paycheck to paycheck while watching everyone else seem to have their financial freedom. You've probably thought to yourself, how am I supposed to build wealth when I can barely cover my bills? Here's the thing that nobody tells you. Your income level isn't what determines your wealth-building potential. It's what you do with whatever amount comes in that creates the difference between staying broke and building real, lasting prosperity. Meet Harry, a 28-year-old customer service representative making $42,000 a year in Phoenix. 3 years ago, Harry felt exactly the same way you do right now. He was frustrated, watching his friends post vacation photos while he was counting quarters for laundry money. Harry thought his modest salary meant he was destined to struggle forever. But what Harry discovered changed everything. And if you're making anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000 a year, you can copy his exact system. You see, Harry wasn't special. He didn't have wealthy parents, a trust fund, or some secret business idea. He just learned something that money experts don't want you to know. Wealth building isn't about how much you make. It's about mastering the invisible systems that quietly move money from your current self to your future financial self. This is educational content, not financial advice. Please consult with financial professionals and do your own research before making investment decisions. Harry's breakthrough came when he stopped thinking like a spender and started thinking like an investor. But not in the way you might think. Harry didn't start day trading or buying crypto. Instead, he discovered what he calls the money system, a simple method that automatically redirects money you're already spending into growth investments. You're probably wondering what this system looks like in practice. Well, Harry started by tracking every single dollar for just 2 weeks. Not to judge himself or create a restrictive budget, but to discover something shocking. He was hemorrhaging money on what he calls invisible expenses, those $8 coffee runs, $15 lunch deliveries, and $12.99 monthly subscriptions he'd forgotten about. But here's where Harry's approach gets interesting, and why this might be the breakthrough you've been looking for. Instead of cutting everything out and living like a monk, Harry learned to redirect that same money into what he calls investment accounts, funds that grow while he sleeps. The system Harry developed has 4 phases, and you can start implementing this tonight with whatever salary you currently earn. Remember, Harry was making $42,000 when he started, less than many of you watching this right now. Phase 1 is what Harry calls the money flow audit. For exactly 14 days, you track every single expense no matter how small. Harry used a simple notes app on his phone, but you can use whatever works for you. The goal isn't to judge your spending, it's to become aware of where your money is actually going versus where you think it's going. Harry discovered he was spending $347 per month on what he calls convenience costs, money spent on things that saved time but drained his bank account. Coffee shops, food delivery, impulse purchases, subscriptions he never used. That's $4,164 per year that was vanishing without creating any value in his life. Phase 2 is the smart redirect strategy. Here's where Harry's system gets powerful. Instead of dramatically cutting his lifestyle, Harry redirected just half of those convenience costs, $173 per month, into what he calls his investment fund. This isn't about deprivation. It's about conscious choice. You can copy Harry's exact redirect formula tonight. Take whatever convenience spending you discover in Phase 1 and redirect 50% of it. If you're spending $200 monthly on takeout and coffee, redirect $100. If it's $400, redirect $200. The key is starting with an amount that doesn't feel painful because consistency beats intensity every single time. Phase 3 is where the magic happens. Smart investing. Harry learned that traditional savings accounts are actually money losers because of inflation. Instead, he split his redirected money into 3 investment types that compound over time. The first investment is what Harry calls his growth fund, a low-cost index fund that tracks the overall stock market. Harry puts 60% of his redirected money here because historically, the stock market has returned about 10% annually over long periods. This isn't financial advice, just what Harry chose to do with his money. The second investment is Harry's emergency fund, a high-yield savings earning around 4 to 5% annually. This gets 25% of his redirected money and serves as his emergency fund and opportunity fund for when life throws curveballs. The third investment is Harry's career development. 15% goes toward courses, books, and training that increase his earning power. Harry used this fund to get certified in project management, which led to a promotion and $8,000 salary increase within 18 months. But here's what Harry discovered that surprised even him. And this is the part that separates people who build wealth from people who stay broke forever. Phase 4 is the compound acceleration. After 6 months of consistent redirecting, something interesting happened to Harry's psychology. He started seeing money differently. Instead of thinking, this costs $50, he started thinking, this costs $50 now, or $400 in future wealth. Harry realized that every dollar he spent today was actually costing him about $8 in future wealth due to compound growth. This mental shift transformed him from someone who spent impulsively to someone who invested strategically. Here's where Harry's story gets really interesting, and where you'll see why your current salary isn't your limitation. Your system is. After just 18 months of following this process, Harry had accumulated $3,847 in his investment accounts. But the real transformation wasn't the money. It was his money mindset. Harry stopped feeling anxious about finances because he finally had a system that was working for him instead of against him. You're probably thinking what Harry thought at this point. This is great, but $3,847 isn't going to make me wealthy. And you're right, but Harry understood something that most people miss. Wealth building is about time and consistency, not dramatic moves. By year 3, Harry's investment portfolio had grown to $14,230. His growth fund had appreciated, his emergency fund had compound interest working, and his career development had paid for itself through his salary increase. More importantly, the habits were now automatic. Here's the math that changed Harry's perspective forever, and this might be the most important thing you learn today. If Harry continues his system, redirecting just $173 per month into wealth magnets, earning an average 8% return, he'll have over $95,000 in 10 years. In 20 years, over $427,000. This is how ordinary people with ordinary salaries build financial independence. Not through get-rich-quick schemes or lucky breaks, but through systems that harness the most powerful force in finance: compound interest over time. Harry proved that your salary isn't your ceiling. Your system is. You have everything you need right now to start building the same wealth magnets that transformed Harry's financial future. Tonight, before you go to sleep, take the first step Harry took. Open your phone's Notes app and start tracking every expense for the next 14 days. Don't judge, don't restrict, just observe. Harry discovered his $347 monthly convenience spending this way, and you'll discover yours. Remember how Harry felt when he first realized he was spending over $4,000 yearly on things that brought him no lasting value? You might feel that same shock, but channel it into excitement because that money is about to become your investment capital. The system that transformed Harry's financial situation is waiting for you to implement it. Harry started with less than you have right now: a $42,000 salary, no savings, and the same financial anxiety you might be feeling. The only difference between Harry's financial situation 3 years ago and his secure financial future today was the decision to stop wishing and start systemizing. Your future self is waiting for you to make the same decision Harry made. You can start redirecting your convenience spending into investment accounts, watching compound growth work its magic while you sleep. Every day you delay is another day of compound growth you're leaving on the table. Write down this date, today's date, because if you implement Harry's system consistently, this will be the day your wealth-building journey began. Harry's future self thanked him for starting when he did, and yours will too.